If you're looking to drastically modernize the headlights in your 99 to 04 New Edge Mustang at home, then you might want to consider switching up to a set of projectors like we're talking about here today. Now, these DOT-approved headlights will feature a modern retrofit style projector nestled into an aggressive black housing, along with the amber reflectors, all for right around that $250 price point. Now, full disclosure, gang, these might just be one of my favorite aftermarket options currently available for the New Edge cars out there. Honestly, I remember back in the day when guys were building something similar to this from scratch, basically opening up a set of OE lights, kind of retrofitting a modern projector, sealing everything back up, and charging a bunch of money for some of those things. In fact, in some cases, over $1,000 for a turnkey package. Well, fast forward to today, and obviously the aftermarket has some very affordable options out there for owners who want a similar recipe to that, while still delivering a very cool and modern operation. Now, that modern operation that I'm referring to in this case is in the form of that single projector that will deliver a brighter, more focused beam of light with a nice crisp cutoff that will drastically improve your nighttime visibility thanks to that increased throw. Now, a lot of that will of course depend on the style of bulb you decide to use in these things, which, by the way, they do include a brand new dual element H1 bulb preloaded into the projector, but I would always recommend checking out aftermarket options, in this case maybe a modern LED bulb, just to get the most performance out of the headlight itself. Now, the best part is, because this is actually a projector and not a reflector style housing like your factory light, you're not gonna have to worry about blinding oncoming traffic when using a brighter bulb like an LED, which is always a big no-no really when throwing an LED or an HID into a reflector style housing, because basically that light goes everywhere and tends to blind oncoming traffic. Not a concern here with the projector. Again, you get that nice crisp cutoff, and when you adjust these things properly, these should not be any issues for oncoming drivers. Now, that single projector has been installed into the matte black housings here, as you guys can see, before being topped off with a crystal clear polycarbonate lens. And that combination of the black housing with the clear lens is a look I really dig, because to me it totally gives off those Cobra vibes, but you are getting the benefit of the projector for a super clean appearance and better performance. Now, again, the lights do feature the amber reflectors here on the side. You will need to transfer over your factory turn signal bulbs, so just keep that in mind. But because these things do maintain that amber turn signal area or reflector area, they do maintain that DOT approval, which basically makes these things legal for use in all 50 states. Last but not least, guys, the lights are backed by a 3-year limited warranty, just in case you should run into any issues. But what do you say we shift gears and get into the installation process? And if you guys didn't know, swapping headlights on a New Edge Mustang might just be one of the easiest installs you will ever tackle. Because of this, site's gonna call this a strong 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, maybe an hour of your time to complete from start to finish. But to give you a better idea of just how exactly the job will go down, here's an American Muscle customer to walk you through it now.
The only tool I'm going to be using today is a small pick. That's going to help me to disconnect the wiring harness from the headlight bulb and turn signal bulb. Apart from that, it should be pretty easy. First step is going to be to open up the hood of the car. And then we're going to be starting with the driver's side housing. First thing we're going to do is locate the 2 retaining clips that hold the housing to the vehicle. One is right here, the second is right here. We're just going to pull straight up until they come free. Then we're just going to set those aside for later, because we're going to use those to install our new housings. Now, to remove the housing from the vehicle, we're going to support it from the front, push out gently from the back until it separates from the car, like so. Then now it's being held in by our headlight clip and our turn signal clip down here. That's when I'm going to grab my pick. Starting with the turn signal clip, we're going to remove the tabs on the top and the bottom. And it'll come out just like that. The headlight clip, same deal. You can put your pick underneath the tabs and pull straight back out. Now this housing is ready to be removed. And on the table here, we get a good comparison between the 2 housings. The old one's been on the car for almost 2 decades now. It's discolored and yellowed. Our new one looks a lot better. The new housings come pre-installed with headlight bulbs, but we will need to transfer over our stock turn signal bulbs to these housings. Looking at the back of our stock housing, this is the turn signal bulb right here. So I'm gonna grab the entire assembly and rotate it, pull it straight back out, and then perform the exact opposite operation on their new housing. Place it in, and then rotate it down to lock it into place. Now these are ready to go into the vehicle. And once we have it here, we're gonna reconnect our headlight harness and our turn signal harness. Simply press them together so you can hear the click and feed the excess wire into the vehicle. Turn signal harness is gonna be the same thing. Grab the connector and push it until it clicks into place. Now we're gonna be using these 2 alignment tabs to help us align the headlight housing within the vehicle. Go. And once they're in, we're going to reinsert our retaining clips into the top of the housing. Now they're ready to test, make sure everything works properly. And to replace the passenger side housing, exactly the same. We're gonna start with our 2 retaining clips on top. Pull those straight up and out. Gently remove the stock housing from the car. Gonna remove the headlight clip by sliding my pick underneath the tab and pulling it straight out the back. The turn signal clip, exactly the same way. Pull that straight out. Now the housing can be removed from the car. And disconnect the stock turn signal, transfer it over to our new housing. And head back to the vehicle. Push the headlight connector in until it clips. Feed the wiring into the vehicle. And push the turn signal clip into the stock turn signal. And align it into the vehicle with 2 alignment tabs. And reinsert our retaining clips. With that, the installation should be complete. Give them a quick wipe. And then turn them on to make sure everything is working properly.
So wrapping things up here, guys, if you're looking for a sleek and aggressive modern headlight for that new Edge at home, definitely consider the black projectors that we have right here at AmericanMuscle.com.